Well, it's the rarest of the rare. The most unusual of the unusual. Southern California, in fact, all of California, is besieged by rain. Hello, everybody. It's the Sometimes Vlog. Yeah! It's a vlog that happens sometimes. You'll have to excuse me because I am very much under the weather. And it turns out we've got a lot of weather to be under. It is pouring rain. It is gnarly. And it's coming at the worst possible time for me because I was getting ready to do all kinds of videos and all this stuff. And then last week, well, 2 weeks ago, I got the flu for a couple of days. And then last week I was feeling better and I was going out. And then I got another cold. I felt better. I went back out and then it hit me again. So clearly I have not learned the lesson of staying inside and resting. And that's kind of a bummer. This month, we've got some big stuff coming up. So I've got a cool compilation video for you going back 10 years. As you know, last year was the 10th anniversary of Random Land in 2023. And I did a little compilation very towards the end of the year, like December, sometime like around Christmas, a little compilation video of what Random Land was like in 2013, what the videos were like 10 years earlier. And I thought, you know what? I also have a compilation. I have a a collection of things from 2014 and now it's 2024. Why not jump back 10 years again? And also I'll be traveling to Florida. And so we're going to do some Disney World-ness stuff. We're going back to the world and we're going to go check a bunch of stuff out. I'm very excited about that. In the meantime, all the plans I had for California, all the home filming plans I had for what little bit of February I'm supposed to be home are tarnished, ruined, waterlogged, soggy, wet, and sort of done. So I'm here in the Leroy E. Schmaltz Memorial Workshop, which is what I named my garage after my good friend Leroy passed away. Excuse me. And in between being absolutely sick and miserable and getting, you know, the shakes and the various colds that I've been through, 3 in a month, after years of not having them, you know, like everybody else during the pandemic, you know, you're kind of separated from everybody. Everybody's really careful about how they cough. Now everybody's back to normal, where you're sitting on a bus or something and people are like on your face and you're just getting sick. So I got 3 in a row. It's like making up for the last couple of years of not really being sick at all. Anyways, I've been in here working on stuff like this. So this is the first piece, sort of a commission that I did for somebody else. Do you know who this character is? Are you familiar with this character as depicted in this image here? If you are, it means you read the comic books of Don Rosa and you are a gentleman and a scholar. And if you haven't heard of Don Rosa, check him out, look him up. You'll learn who this character is. Old Buck right here. You'll learn who Buck McDuck is, huh? How about that? And look at this. This is another thing I've been doing since the rain has been cramping my style and sickness has meant that I'm not out partying and getting anything that I want to get done. I've been in here chipping away very slowly at a big pile of tiki stuff. Now, this is subject to change. This is not 100,000%. But if everything goes according to plan, then March 9th, I believe March 9th, I will be at the original Tiki Marketplace in Southern California, Garden Grove. Each one of these is a lot harder to make and more expensive to sell than you would think. These are not all finished, so these are kind of finished. These 2 are kind of finished, but others obviously are very bright paint. This is actually for me. I did one of these, sold one of these, and I decided I wanted one. So this one will not be for sale, but all these other guys, all these other cool tiki masks and carvings, these will all be down there at the original Tiki Marketplace. I'll be down there hanging out, and they're a couple $100 each, and hopefully we'll sell some of them, maybe all of them, you never know. And that's where I'm going to be. It's in Garden Grove. Now, it's the same Tiki Marketplace that used to be at Don the Beachcomber back in the day, and I filmed it 10 or 11 years ago with my old friend Tyler Evans, original Tyler, not fake Tyler. And it was a fun place to go, a fun place to see. I've only been to it one other time since they moved it, and it's sort of like it's like in a VA or something like that, or like a Veterans Hall or something, and they've got this big lawn, and they bring tiki vendors, people that make tiki mugs and do all this stuff. And I decided to bring out some carvings out there, and mostly just make myself available, sit out there if you guys want to come say hi. I think it does cost admission to get in, but the price of your admission gets you like a drink ticket, and so you get a like a free tiki drink with your ticket, with your purchase price. So I've been working on these forever. Here's an example of like an unfinished one right there, unstained, unpainted. And then, of course, you have like a finished one, aged and distressed. You've got all kinds of different color options and different things. Some of these I kind of make to a rough pattern, and then so that I can have more than one of them. Because people go, oh, I really wanted that one, and then you sold it. So, and others, like this one, are absolutely unique, one of a kind, absolutely unique, one of a kind, small, but much more difficult to make. And so like that, there you go. And this one was inspired, of course, I'm in the Leroy E. Schmaltz Memorial Workshop, was inspired by this guy right here that my old friend Leroy carved. And that's the thing, is like, if you're going to set out to be a great painter or a great sketch artist or something like that, you're going to go for you're going to go to the museum and you're going to copy the Da Vinci's, you're going to copy the Rubens, you're going to copy the Michelangelos or whatever, I don't know. You're going to copy the Sistine Chapel ceiling, and that's how you're going to learn to sketch. That's how artists will learn to sketch oftentimes. And so because, you know, I was very inspired by Leroy, I've been using a lot of his designs as inspiration as I'm getting a little bit better. So I'm getting a little bit better at it. See, here's an unfinished one right there. And all of this is actually wood from Oceanic Arts. If you've never heard of Oceanic Arts, go look up the Real Life Tiki Room Random Land. I bought all the rest of the wood. So all of this one day will be tiki masks and different carvings, or you never know, some ducks. So I've been coming out here in little 15-minute periods. Oh, I got these big carvings also. These big carvings. Sorry, the lights are weird because they got regular light bulbs and LED light bulbs. They're all fighting each other. You might see some weird darkness on the screen. I got these giant guys here that were carved out of not Oceanic Arts wood, but like big giant logs like this. And yes, this garage is a disaster. I was working on tons of stuff, and then the rainstorm came. I was halfway done cleaning the garage. There's a huge pile of stuff here and an old workbench I broke up and piles of wood, and it looks pretty bad. It looks a little bit, you know, it looks a little bit like a salvage yard out there in the rain. So I was halfway kind of through doing that, and then I just got 2 weeks. So I've been coming out here basically, excuse me, that's so gross. I'm just, you know, doing all the painting and stuff little by little. Like, I'll just paint that, and then I'll go inside and be miserable. Because I can't stand holding still. I can't stand it. I'm the kind of guy, you bring me to a church, to a classroom, to a funeral, anything, and I'm fidgeting, and I want to move around, I want to pace around, and I don't do very good at sitting still, which is why I kept getting better, then going out, and then getting sick again. So I'm trying to just force myself to sit here. At the end of this week, I am flying to Florida, so there will be your classic Random Land style adventures. We're going to do some sometimes vlogs out there, get some unedited action, get some weird stuff. I have some old friends, YouTube friends to meet up with out there. We got some exclusive cool rooms I think we're going to see. We're going to see some cool stuff in Florida. And then after that in March, we're going to go out and I got all kinds of plans. First of all, the Tiki Marketplace thing, we're going to go and do that. That's going to be weird. I've never done that before. Whoa. We've got all kinds of things set up. So we have some really cool stuff to film in March, actually. I mean, some dynamite stuff you've never even you can't even imagine. It's going to be so awesome. Then we have a little bit of a road trip coming up towards the end of March that we're going to get into the year, get the season pumping. We'll get this 11th season of Random Land really off the ground. But yeah, the beginning of my year, a little humbucked, a little unexpected delays and fits and starts of crazy stuff. And of course, we got, you know, London's in school, and then Allie's got her health stuff, and we're just trying to work everything out. She's back at school. She's getting really close to finishing her fashion design certificate or degree or whatever. She's got a couple more semesters because she's only doing a few classes at a time. And so she's only going to be with me in Florida for a couple days, and I'm going to be there for a couple weeks. And then, you know, London's 16, he's almost 17, and he's still not driving. And I'm like, darn it, we got to get you driving. Anyway, I got the sore throat, I got the headache, I got the sweatiness, and I'm very warm in here. Actually, it's very warm, surprisingly, in here, even though it's cold and rainy and soggy out there. I don't know what else I could show you in here. I got this office sign, this hand-painted office sign at an estate sale. Somebody actually had this San Joaquin Fruit Company, so that's a really cool hand-painted piece that kind of inspires me when I'm doing hand-painted signs and stuff, which I haven't done for a while, but I hope to do some for the Tiki Marketplace. However, being that I'll be gone almost all of February, I only have like 3 or 4 days, and I'm sick, to finish all the unfinished ones to bring to the marketplace. And so when I get back, there's only a few days before the actual marketplace itself, and I was hoping to have some signs done. I'm hoping to have some more tikis done. Nothing this big. These are gnarly pieces of big old logs from the mountains of Utah, as it turns out. Very, very tropical, very tiki-ish, the mountains of Utah. And then I've been working on stuff like this. So this piece is actually just finished today. Wanted a little bit of vintage look, a little bit of roughness there. And I've been working on this forever. Let me see if I can tilt you sideways so you can kind of see. I've been working on that forever and just have never finished cutting it and finished the fine sanding and the fine details on it. So Snow White's just been sitting there just kind of looking at me for a while, and I've got so many things in my brain as far as videos, as far as adventures, as far as travel plans, as far as all kinds of other stuff. But this, I've been working on this pile for a while, and rather than doing them on eBay one at a time, I thought, let's do a marketplace. Let's do someplace in person where you can come and get stuff like this. And they're not cheap because they take a long time to do. And even when you've got a pattern and you've got the basic shape cut out, it takes hours and hours and hours to cut these out, sand them, get them smooth, and then of course to apply the stain or apply the paint, or in these cases, these aren't even finished. There'll be multiple layers of it, a little bit of aging, a little bit of all that kind of stuff until they're nice and ready to hang up or screw into a wall or put out in your tiki garden or in your indoor tiki bar, whatever you want to do with them. It just takes a lot longer. So I'd love to be selling them for, $100, but it's, usually 2, 3, 4 times that is just the amount of time sunk into them. But I will be out there, so if anybody's interested in a hand-carved, handmade, hand-painted tiki figure, mask, guy thing, carved out of old oceanic arts wood or fine pine brought down from the mountains. We got some distressed ones, we got some cleaner looking ones, we got all kinds of stuff. Come on down. It's sort of a little bit of an impromptu, kind of a meetup deal, kind of a cool, just a way to sell the wares. And I'm going to try to put those down on the credit cards, get rid of some credit card debt, and make some room for this summer's adventures. Excuse me. Go out on Route 66 to do all the kinds of crazy random land adventures that we're going to do. So March 9th, mark your calendars. And of course, we still have the sometimes vlogs and the random lands coming your way. Not to mention we still have the podcast and the morning announcements going on Patreon if you're not over there. So there's lots of stuff going on, and normally I avoid just kind of posting any kind of update video or anything like that. Look at all these guys. I feel like E.T. with all the puppets, like I'm E.T. with the puppets. Oh, normally I avoid doing any kind of thing like this. Oh, I'm really weak. See, just like I've been talking to you for 12 minutes. I'm wiped. I'll be laying down for the next 3 hours. Anyway, normally I avoid doing it kind of like, here's an update about me, because it's more about the adventure. It's more about the thing we're looking at, more about the place that we're going. But I figured I didn't want everybody to think, what happened? February rolled over and Justin just disappeared. He never came back. We don't know what happened to him. I'm still alive. Barely. So I'm just going to go back in. You know what it is? About a Dayquil. I need to get some Dayquil and go lay down and avoid getting wet. So don't worry, I'm not cold, I'm not freezing, just to show you this. It's plenty warm in here. It's just, I'm tired now. So you've done your duty, go home, sleep well. By the way, our online store, store.randomland.com, we're closing out all the old merch. We're going to make new merch in 2024 at some point, but we're super slashing all the prices. Like everything's going to be super cheap, especially we have a lot of small shirts of old designs and stuff. So if you're small and you want a great deal, head on over there. I think that's all I was supposed to say, or all I have a brain to say. That's really all that's going on. Try to pay down debt and get ready for a whole new year of adventure. And by the way, some of those plans I was alluding to in March, some of the crazy. Hold on a second. Oh, jeez, Louise. Oh, there we go. By the way, the zero sugar, if you're like into Coke Zero and zero sugar sodas, the Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar, that's the way to go. The regular Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar is okay. Don't tell Allie I'm drinking this. I'm supposed to be drinking water and becoming healthy, and here I am drinking a soda. Anyway, what was I going to say? I forget. Oh, no, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the stuff that I've got going on in March. Like, we have some really crazy, if everything works out, some, like, access to some really cool exclusive things that we're going to film and all this stuff was supposed to happen now. And it got canceled, and I was getting frustrated, like, oh, no, beginning of February is going to be all blank, and we're going to have nothing to do. I'll go to the park, and I'll film a bunch of stuff at the park. Well, cameras in rain don't get along that well, or at least my cameras in rain don't get along that well, so clearly that's kind of out for the moment. But they all got moved to March, and I was all frustrated, like, darn, there's all the stuff I wanted to do, and I was getting all frustrated, and here I am, sick. And there's no way I could have done the crazy fun things we're going to do in March if I was sick like this. especially with the people we're planning on doing with. I just don't want to get sick. And so, it all turned out for the best. So sometimes things don't go according to plan, and you think, God, why? Just this is so frustrating. And then you find out, oh, maybe everything happens for a reason. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's chaos. But maybe things happen for a reason. So I'm here. I'm trying to stay on the quest for positivity. Remember that you can't control your circumstances all the time, but you can control your reaction to them, which is why I've been trying to rest and do my best to rest now. But I'm also trying to just chip away at a little bit of work here so that I can have that meetup with you guys at a nice, friendly, happy place. So come on down. Do me a favor and grab a tiki if you want one. Buy a tiki. Buy a tiki. Buy a tiki. There's a throwback for you. And stay tuned, because in a few days, probably 2 or 3 days, I'm going to have the... I tried not to cough and sneeze and everything else. I'm trying to have the 10-year throwback 2014 Random Land episode for you. And I'll keep carving away. And don't worry, for those of you who don't live in California, you can't get to California on March 9th or anything like that. And especially if we have to cancel, if there's rain at that time or anything like that. I will have a few of these to do on eBay in that same month. So everybody will get a chance of that kind of thing. But yeah, we're just going to go out there and we're going to rock and roll. And I'll be on Instagram and probably, show what we've got for sale, what I finished, and the prices, so you can be prepared, so everyone can be prepared and know what they're getting into and stuff. But either way, we'll be there. So if you want to come out, wear a Hawaiian shirt, and hang out in a tropical-ish Garden Grove, California, and say hi to me, say hi to Fake Tyler, probably will be there. I think we're going to go around and film a little bit of talkity with some of the vendors and stuff like that. So we'll be filming a little bit. We'll be busy, but we'll be there, the whole day. And you can look it up, the original Tiki Marketplace, I believe, on Facebook. If I have to cancel that plan for any reason, I'll try to leave a comment on this video, and I will surely let you know on Instagram, my preferred method of kind of communicating, which, by the way, is at Justin Scarred, 2 R's, not 1 R. A lot of people say Justin Scared to me still after all these years, because they've only seen it spelled, but it's Scarred. I was in a band called The Scarred for years, so there was a lot of Justins, and I was just Justin Scarred, because the thing, my mother, not a fan of being called Mrs. Scarred and stuff. It drives my parents up the wall, but people think that's my actual last name. No, it's a moniker from the band. So there you go. There's a little history, a little mystery. I'm gonna get out of here under 20 minutes because I'm miserable and I need to go take a bunch of NyQuil and lay down and just be kind of dead for the rest of the day. So you've done your duty. Go home, sleep well, don't get sick, stay indoors, don't get sogified out in the rain. Hopefully you're all safe and well. I'll see you later.